Good evening and welcome to the Ghana Tv9 News Bulletin for Thursday, September 4, 2025. I'm Adana Doric. In the headlines tonight, WIN Party siphon APNU's boards in Region 4. PBB boards in Region 4 increases by 6,000. Dr. Binya Prasad announces new support systems for domestic violence survivors. PSC chairman praises smooth recount process. Urge patience and confidence in electoral system. Northern ruffles to come to terms with unprecedented defeat in traditional RP strongholds. JAPTO commends peaceful and transparent 2025 elections, praises G constituency and observer validation. Now for the news in depth. General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, PBBC, Dr. Bharat Japtio has dismissed claims by APNU's presidential candidate Aubrey Norton that it was impossible for APNU support in Region 4 to commit at the 2025 polls. More from Colin Abrams.
APNU's support in Region 4, the country's largest voting district, fell from approximately 116,941 votes in the 2020 elections to 46,956 in Monday's polls. Japtio maintains that Norton's qualms should be with the now projected main opposition WIN party.
But what were the facts around Region 4? What are the facts around Region 4? So, in 2020, APNU got 116,941 votes in Region 4. The People's Progressive Party got 80,920 votes. There was a difference of 36,021 votes between the two parties. They got 36,021 votes more than the PPP. In these elections, it's true that APNU dropped to 41,607 votes. But WIN got 41,607 votes, and APNU dropped to 46,956 votes. It's true, but combined they had 88,563 votes. The PPP, on the other hand, increased its vote to 87,536 votes. We increased our votes by 6,000, which is not implausible.
Japtio maintains that the APNU's loss of ground was primarily due to the emergence of the WIN party, which led to a split in the opposition vote. He noted that the decline was not a result of diminished overall support, but rather the fragmentation of its voter base. He urged the opposition to stop ignoring the realities on the ground and instead focus on identifying the core issues and developing a strategy to regain support in the region.
So in Region 4, the combined vote of all the political parties versus the PPP, they had just over 5,000 votes more than us in Region 4. That's the fact. However, it's a significant collapse even when you look at the combined votes. They got 23,685 votes less than in the last elections in Region 4. Even when you add APNU, WIN, and all the other parties, they got 26,685 votes. So a lot of those people stayed home or voted PPP in the region. In North Georgetown, we emerge as the largest political party.
For the first time in Ghana's history, the People's Progressive Party (CIPIC) took control of Region 4, long considered the opposition's political stronghold. The ruling party secured 87,536 votes in the general elections and 87,018 votes in the regional elections, an increase of more than 6,000 votes compared to 2020. He reminded that the PPC had long cautioned APNU about the threat of WIN siphoning off its supporters.
We had to worry more about the Mohammeds than the People's Progressive Party. It was true. We saw the signs. We knew it. We did our polls. We did our focus groups. We saw where the impact of money and the lies were having the greatest resonance. And we saw it was affecting the APNU support.
The outcome in Region 4, he maintained, confirmed a decisive shift in the country's political landscape. The recount of the ballots for Region 4 Sub-District 4 started Thursday, with observers saying the process is moving along smoothly. Colwyn Abrams, Ghana TV9 News.
The European Union Election Observer Mission (EU-EOM) has praised the Ghana Elections Commission (GECOM) for efficiently managing the September 1, 2025 elections, noting that the process was calm and orderly at the polling day staff professional. Observers highlighted the effective measures put in place by the elections body to ensure integrity, citizen participation, and the important role of women in facilitating the process. Faith Sani has more.
The European Union Election Observation Mission (EU-EOM) has commended the Ghana Elections Commission (GECOM) for its management of the September 1, 2025 general and regional elections. Observers of all EU member states and Norway praised the calm and orderly conduct of polling across the country, noting that polling stations opened on time and staff performed their duties professionally. The observer body noted that measures to enhance election integrity, including restrictions on mobile phones inside polling stations, were effectively implemented and citizens participated with dedication and determination. Observers highlighted the significant role of women who facilitated the voting process effectively in towns and villages across Ghana.
Our observers come from all the EU member states and from Norway, demonstrating a broad international commitment to supporting democracy in Guyana. On election day, our observers witnessed a calm and orderly process. Polling staff were professional and dedicated. Polling stations opened on time, and the polls were efficiently managed.
Bijan reiterated that the 2025 general and regional elections were peaceful, inclusive, and efficiently organized, offering citizens meaningful choices. The team remains in Ghana to monitor the tabulation process and ensure transparency, with a final report and recommendations for strengthening electoral integrity expected in the coming week.
Overall, the 2025 general and regional elections in Guyana were peaceful, inclusive, and efficiently organized, offering citizens meaningful choices. The European Union Election Observation Mission will remain in Guyana to observe the remaining stages of the electoral process. With the tabulation still ongoing, we hope that standards of transparency will persist. Our final report, including recommendations for strengthening electoral integrity, will be issued in the coming weeks.
Faith Sandy, Ghana TV9 News.
The recount of the ballot boxes from Region 4 Sub-District 4 got early Thursday. President of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry (GCCI), Kathy Smith, told the media that the process was smooth for the most part. The recount was requested on Wednesday by the APNU presidential candidate. Colin Abrams reports.
I have been there since this morning. The process so far is quite smooth. Each table, you would have noticed, have a representative of every political party that would have contested in the election. So I'm quite confident that the political parties who would have exercised their franchise in asking for a recount, which is the APNU, that they will get the result that they're looking for based on the system that I see here.
That was President of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GCCI, Kathy Smith, speaking with media representatives outside the Ghana Elections Commission GECOM Kingston headquarters in Georgetown, where the recount of the Region 4 ballots are taking place. Smith said the GCCI has been observing the process and it has been smooth. Preliminary results show that the PUPC has won Region 4, securing nearly twice as many votes as the APNU. In the general elections, the PPPC received 87,536 votes, while in the regional elections, it earned 87,018 votes. The APNU, which traditionally controlled this region, received 46,956 votes in the general elections and 46,772 votes in the regional elections. However, Leader of the Opposition, Aubrey Norton, requested a recount of the ballots, noting that his party has never experienced such unprecedented defeat in the district. The APNU has requested recounts in regions 4, 7, and 10.
We have seen in Region 4 something very implausible, that we will drop from 120,000 plus votes to 40-something thousand. It has never happened in any elections in the world. Also in Region 10, we move from complete domination of the region to having lost the region, something we have never seen in this country.
The recount began at 8 a.m. Thursday using a total of 25 workstations. GCOM stated that the exercise will continue uninterrupted until completion. The Chief Elections Officer, Vishnu Prasad, has informed all political parties of the request and reminded them to ensure that at least one accredited agent is present at each station. It is clear that the ruling People's Progressive Party Civic will return for a second term in office under the stewardship of His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali. Colin Abrams, Ghana TV9 News.
After an entire morning of counting at the request of APNU, nothing has changed significantly except the frustration of the nation. This is a wanton waste of time. So says government-nominated Elections Commissioner Says Gunraj.
GCOM Commissioner Says Gunraj stated that while the Partnership for National Unity APNU has the right to request a recount, the party is simply delaying an inevitable outcome.
After you are dissatisfied with the results, and the dissatisfaction, I rather suspect, and if I can hazard a guess, is not really with the process. It is not really with the numbers. They are dissatisfied with their performance. And now that dissatisfaction, there's an attempt to translate it to a problem with the process. And that is what I have a difficulty with. I mean, you're entitled to the recount by law. The recount is granted, but holding back, delaying the inevitable is just sad.
Based on the declared results, the People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC has won the elections, securing a significant victory in Region 4, a traditional stronghold for a Partnership for National Unity APNU. In the general election, the PPPC received 87,536 votes compared to APNU's 46,956. The regional results were similarly lopsided, with the PPPC earning 87,018 votes against APNU's 46,772. Despite these figures, APNU has claimed the results are implausible. Gunraj added.
I need to speak about the rationale, perhaps, or question the rationale behind this. Elections were conducted on Monday. As far as I am aware, in the 2,790 polling stations, all of the parties had a representative. The PPP had representatives. The PNC had the PNC or whatever they are now called had representatives. Other parties were represented. Those party representatives participated in the process, signed off on those statements of poll which represent the election result of every one of those polling stations. It is those statements of poll that were tabulated to form the result of the district, and then by extension the entire country.
Gunraj expressed hope that good sense prevails.
We can get this process done. And as I said before the elections, let us all accept the results. It was a very, very properly executed process, and move on with our lives.
Adana Doric, Ghana TV9 News.
We now take a break for tonight's editor's perspective with Melanie Alicott Morris. Stay tuned.
Good night, viewers. In every democracy, there comes a time when the dust must settle. And in Guyana, that time is now. The votes have been cast, the ballots counted, And while the recount is ongoing in Region 4, the bigger picture is undeniable. The PPPC has won. The people have spoken, and their voice is final. We cannot allow delays to hold this nation hostage. Endless disputes may serve a party's interests, but they do nothing for the mother who wants her child in school, the young man looking for a job, the farmer who just wants to get his produce to market. Democracy is not strengthened by dragging on the inevitable. It is weakened by doubt, by suspicion, and by strife. History has taught us painful lessons. When elections spill into the streets, ordinary Guyanese pay the price. Businesses burn, communities divide, children are kept indoors. In other words, fear takes over. We must not, we cannot return to those days. Yes, the opposition has a right to call for a recount, but with that right comes responsibility. The responsibility to accept when the verdict is clear. The responsibility to protect the peace of this country. Real leadership is not about holding out. Real leadership is about putting Guyana first. And so tonight I call on every citizen to resist the voices that stir division. I call on the opposition, respect the will of the people. And I call on all our leaders, show the world that Guyana's democracy has grown beyond the politics of unrest. This election is over. The people have chosen. It is now time to move forward, not backward. Let us heal. Let us unite. Let us build the Guyana that our children deserve. That's my perspective for tonight. My name is Melanie Adikop Morris. Good night.
Welcome back. You're watching the Ghana TV9 News. General Secretary Barra Jacques, during his press conference, stated that Election Day was conducted in a manner that should make the entire country proud. Here is more.
He praised the smooth and orderly conduct of the polls, noting that the democratic process was upheld and respected across the board. Jagdeo emphasized the Guyanese from all 10 regions were able to cast their votes freely, openly, and peacefully, without fear or intimidation. He also pointed out that international observer missions, including those from the Commonwealth, CARICOM, and other global organizations, unanimously concluded that the elections were free, fair, and transparent. He said that this level of credibility reflects positively on Guyana's democratic maturity and the strength of its institutions. And he commended all stakeholders, from voters to election officers, for their role in making the process a success.
The process, they concluded, was a transparent one. Although cumbersome in the count, but they recognized that that was because of the thoroughness of the process.
Jagdeo stated that the vote count was conducted in a transparent manner, observed both by international and local observer groups, and carried out in the presence of political party representatives and polling agents from all contesting parties. The General Secretary further went through the process of Elections Day and the signing of the SOPs, which is also visible now for all Guyanese to see on GCOM's website.
So right now, everyone in Guyana has the declared results by the ROs, which are the official results by these ROs for all 10 regions. The tabulation of those results shows that the PPP Civic won a landslide in the 2025 elections.
Jagdeo noted that unlike the previous elections, GCOM performed more efficiently this time, with the process proceeding swiftly rather than taking months as it did 5 years ago. Faith Sandy, Guyana TV9 News.
Minister of Human Services Dr. Vinay Prasad has announced new support systems aimed at strengthening protection and assistance for survivors of domestic violence.
In a recent interview, Minister of Human Services Dr. Vindya Prasad highlighted several new support systems in place for domestic violence survivors. The cornerstone of this new system is the 914 toll-free hotline. The minister made these comments on Wednesday after delivering tangible support to the relatives of 50-year-old Paula Abraham, who was tragically killed by her 46-year-old reputed husband in Cummings Lodge.
If I look back in the 5 years, we started the 914 hotline. We never had one in the country. It's 24 hours, it's toll free, and we have seen at least 40,000 calls being made. And of that, you would say about 10 to 15% have been domestic violence, gender based violence related. And once that report is made, then we intervene from the Human Services Ministry. Let's say it's an active case of violence, we contact the police. We call the police to intervene immediately.
The government's strategy goes far beyond just answering calls. She stated the Survivor Advocate Program is a key component with 27 dedicated advocates strategically placed in every region of the country.
And the program that is making a lot of difference is the Survivors Advocate Program. We have 27 survivors advocates in all of the regions, and their purpose is when a report is made, we assign them to the survivor. So if it is that a police report has to be made, they need legal counsel, whatever it is they need, that person handholds them all of the services. And we want at the end of it to have the opportunity for legal recourse as well.
In a landmark legislative achievement, the government passed the new Family Violence Act in 2024. This groundbreaking law provides both civil and criminal remedies, allowing perpetrators to be charged under the Act.
In 2024, we had the Family Violence Act that was passed in Parliament. I took it there. That is brand new, and it has civil and criminal remedies. So now somebody can be charged under the Family Violence Act. We had a good Domestic Violence Act, but you couldn't charge somebody under that before. Now you can. And then the police has 48 hours in which to do the report and charge. And then the police can enter property without a warrant once there is reasonable evidence or suspicion that gender-based violence is happening in there.
Minister Prasad's message is clear and urgent. Victims must report these issues immediately. The government has put all these measures in place, but they can only help if they know what's happening. This is now the third woman to lose her life at the hands of her partner in just under 2 months. Just last week, Athea Solomon was shot multiple times to her body by her estranged husband, who later took his own life after shooting their 10-year-old son. And just in July, 26-year-old Janelle Polidor, mother of 3, was shot to death by her ex-husband in Linden. Adana Doric, Ghana TV9 News.
Providing an update on the ongoing ballot recount process, Chairman of the Private Sector Commission, Gerald Gubaya, stated during an interview outside the GCOM headquarters that things are progressing smoothly and without major disruption. More in this report.
Gavaya is among local observers, and he commended the Ghana Elections Commission GCOM for its exceptional level of preparedness, noting that the staff have been executing their duties with efficiency, transparency, and professionalism. Gavaya emphasized the importance of this recount in ensuring public trust and credibility in the electoral process, and expressed confidence that GCOM's approach would help maintain stability and uphold democratic principles throughout the exercise. He also stated that he's happy to see party agents as the recounting process was ongoing.
Happy to see the preparation that GCOM has done. We're also very happy to see that the parties have actually put a lot of their people out there. We're seeing representation from all major parties there, even the small parties. We're very happy to see that there's good coverage from the party members at each of the tables. We have the international observer groups there. We have the local observer groups there for the process. The democratic process is going through, and GCOM has a very good handle on it and are executing it with a high level of professionalism.
Gavaya noted that GCOM has been highly accurate in providing information throughout the process. He also offered advice to members of the business community and the wider Guyanese population, encouraging patience and calm as they await the results of the recount.
For the business community and the Guyanese in general, I would ask for patience. I would ask for peace. I am happy that that so far the Guyanese people have shown a very high level of maturity in the sense that they're allowing the democratic process to go forward, including the recount.
He stated that this reflects the confidence the Guyanese people have in both the electoral and security systems. Adana Doric, Ghana TV9 News.
And that's all for tonight's news bulletin. I'm Adana Dore. Thanks for watching.